If you grew up poor, there is a voice in your head that no amount of money will ever fully shut up. It tells you to hide your bank balance, even from yourself. It tells you good things don't last, so don't get used to them. It tells you that the moment things start going well, something is about to go wrong. That voice isn't weakness. It's called a scarcity mindset, and it was installed in you before you were old enough to spell the word budget. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a money mindset that actually rewires that voice. Even if you grew up poor, even if money trauma is baked into every decision you make. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you self-sabotage right when things start going well, and what to do instead. If you've ever wondered why am I bad with money even though you're smart, disciplined, and hardworking in every other area of your life, stay with me. Because the answer isn't what you think. This isn't about willpower, and it isn't about discipline. It's about a script that's been running in your subconscious for decades. Before we go further, hit subscribe right now, because this channel is entirely about the psychology of money, and I post new videos on building a wealth mindset every week. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you about how to build a money mindset. It's not about budgeting harder. It's not about a side hustle or a raise or finally making enough. It's about identifying the childhood money beliefs that are still running the show in your adult brain. So let's get into exactly how to change your money mindset, step by step, starting with where this all actually comes from. Section 1. Why your brain is wired for scarcity. A poverty mindset isn't a character flaw. It's a survival skill that outlived its usefulness. If you grew up watching your parents stress over bills, your brain learned a single lesson. Money is dangerous, and it can disappear at any moment. That lesson made sense when you were 7 years old and had no control over the household finances. Your brain wasn't being irrational. It was doing exactly what brains are designed to do, which is protect you from a threat it had already seen happen once. But that same scarcity mindset around money follows you into adulthood, even after your income changes, even after the threat is long gone. This is why so many people experience financial self-sabotage. They unconsciously recreate the chaos that feels familiar because stability feels foreign and even unsafe. Think about that for a second. Stability can feel threatening if chaos is what you grew up calling normal. Psychologists call this a money script, and most of yours were written before you turned 10 years old, long before you had the cognitive ability to question them. The good news is that a money mindset shift doesn't require erasing your past, and it doesn't require pretending your childhood didn't happen. It requires noticing the script and then rewriting it on purpose, one decision at a time. Section 2. The 3 invisible money beliefs from childhood. Let's break down the 3 most common money beliefs from childhood that quietly sabotage adults who grew up poor. The first is the belief that money is for emergencies, not enjoyment. So when you do spend on yourself, you feel guilty instead of fulfilled, even when you can easily afford it. This belief often shows up as buying the cheapest version of everything, even when you have the money to choose otherwise, because spending on enjoyment feels reckless rather than reasonable. The second is the belief that wanting more money is greedy, so you unconsciously cap your own income and turn down opportunities that would actually serve your family well. If you've ever felt a flash of guilt after a raise, a promotion, or a big sale, that's this belief talking, not your actual values. The third is the belief that rich people are different from us. So even when you earn more, you don't feel like you belong, and you spend it away to feel normal again. This is one of the most overlooked drivers of lifestyle creep. It's not about taste, it's about an unconscious need to stay recognizable to your past self. Breaking the cycle of poverty doesn't start with a new bank account, a new job, or a new budget app. It starts with noticing which of these 3 beliefs is running quietly in the background of your decisions, often disguised as a personality trait rather than a learned pattern. If any of this is hitting close to home, you're exactly who this channel is for. So if you haven't already, subscribe because we go deep into financial trauma and behavioral finance every single week here on Think Richer. Okay. Quick gut check. Which one of those 3 beliefs did you just recognize in yourself? Be honest. Because most people watching this just felt one of them land a little too close. That's not a coincidence. That's your money script showing up in real time. Stay with me, because the next part is where we actually fix it. Section 3. How to actually rewire your brain for money. Now let's talk about how to overcome a poverty mindset in a way that's practical, not just motivational fluff. Step 1 is to name your money story out loud. Literally say, I learned that money disappears, or I learned that wanting more is selfish, or whatever your specific version is. You cannot rewire your brain for money until you can name the belief you're rewiring, because an unnamed belief feels like just who you are, rather than something you learned and can unlearn. Step 2 is evidence collection. Every time you handle money well, write it down, because your brain needs proof that contradicts the old scarcity mindset. This sounds small, almost too simple to matter, but your subconscious runs on pattern recognition, and right now the pattern it's running on is decades old and badly outdated. Step 3 is exposure in small doses. Let yourself enjoy a small purchase without guilt, because comfort with small amounts builds comfort with larger ones. You're not trying to become reckless with money. You're trying to prove to your nervous system that enjoying money safely is possible. This is exactly how you shift from a poverty mindset versus wealth mindset, not through one big leap, but through dozens of small corrections that add up over months, not days. An abundance mindset around money isn't about ignoring reality or pretending you have more than you do. It's about trusting that you're capable of handling money well, even when your history taught you otherwise, and even when that trust feels unfamiliar at first. Section 4. How to think rich when you grew up poor. If you want to know how to think rich when you grew up poor, here's the truth. It has nothing to do with the size of your bank account today. It has everything to do with whether you believe you deserve financial stability, because belief always shows up in behavior, whether you're aware of it or not. People with a true wealth mindset don't avoid looking at their money. They look at it constantly, calmly, like checking the weather before they leave the house. People with a poverty mindset avoid looking at their money, because looking feels like inviting bad news, even when the news might actually be fine. So one of the fastest ways to build a money mindset is simply this. Look at your numbers daily, without judgment, until it stops feeling scary. That single habit does more to heal money trauma than any amount of positive thinking alone, because it replaces avoidance with familiarity. And familiarity over time is what turns fear into something closer to neutral. Section 5. Healing money trauma for good. Healing money trauma isn't a one-time event. It's a practice, the same way fitness or therapy is a practice. You will have weeks where the old scarcity mindset creeps back in, especially during stress, and that's normal, not a failure. A bad week with money doesn't erase the progress you've made. It's simply a sign that the old pattern is still in there, which is expected. The goal isn't to never feel that old fear again, because that fear was wired in early and may never fully disappear. The goal is to recognize it faster and choose a different response than the one you learned as a kid. That's the real definition of a money mindset shift, not the absence of fear, but a faster recovery from it every time it shows up. Over time, the gap between feeling the fear and choosing a calm response gets shorter and shorter until it barely registers at all. So that's how to build a money mindset, even if you grew up poor, by naming your money story, collecting evidence against it, and practicing small, repeated trust with money instead of waiting to feel ready. If this video helped you understand your own relationship with money a little better, subscribe to Think Richer, because every week we break down the psychology of money, wealth mindset, and the subconscious money blocks keeping smart, hardworking people stuck. Drop a comment below and tell me which of the 3 childhood money beliefs hit closest to home. I read every single one, and your comment might become the topic of a future video. And if you're ready to go deeper, watch the video on screen next, because it builds directly on everything we just covered. We'll see you in the next one.